Thank you everyone for joining. This is the May 24th Properties Committee meeting. This meeting is being held pursuant to Executive Order 16 issued by the Governor of the State of Tennessee. It is being held electronically due to the need to protect the health, safety, and well-being of the citizenry, and without objections will proceed in this manner. As such, all members of the committee must be able to hear the chairman and each other. And if you cannot hear other members, please notify the chairman immediately. All votes will be done by a roll call, and when you speak to a matter, please identify yourself. This meeting is available to public on Public Access TV and streaming live on YouTube. Let's see. So we'll have a roll call real quick. When you hear your name, say present. Commissioner Hester.
Present.
Commissioner Chalfant.
Present.
Commissioner Mason, which we believe will be out. Commissioner Rainey. Commissioner Jones. And Commissioner Smith.
Present.
So 4 present, 3 absent. So we have enough for quorum. First motion is to accept the meeting minutes of the last property committee meeting.
So moved.
Second, Smith.
Commissioner Chalfant moved first, and Commissioner Smith the second. Thank you. So any changes or any discussion? Hear none, I will call for a vote. Commissioner Hester?
Yes.
Commissioner Chalfant?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Smith, yes.
Jeff, if someone's not here, do I go through the entire list each time?
No, if they're marked absent, you don't have to.
And Commissioner Story is a yes as well. So 4 yes, 3 absent. Our first resolution for the day is a resolution to establish a task force for the purpose of evaluating the revision of the official Williamson County seal. Do I hear a motion?
Commissioner Hester, so moved.
Smith, second.
Move in a second. Do we have anyone to speak to this motion, to this resolution? Jeff is, do you know who from the, would speak to this one?
I do not. I don't know who has sponsored it as of yet. I know that it was kind of circulated to the commission to see who might want to sponsor, but I haven't seen a signed copy. So I'm unaware of who might have sponsored.
Ashton, do we have anybody who signed on to this?
Commissioner Beathard, do you want to speak to it? I believe you signed one of the signatures.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know that I'm necessarily the sponsor, but I am one of the signatories. So if I'm the only signator that's present, I guess I will, by default, be the one to speak to it. My understanding is that the resolution came from the mayor's office, and it is, as the title aptly describes, the request to form a committee. If you have the resolution in front of you, the committee would be made up of citizens, by and large, who are at least one generation. Several will need to be second and third generation Williamson County residents. It's a mixture of clergy, Williamson County historians, as well as African Americans. A pretty diverse list that applicants would then go through the mayor's office, is my understanding, and the mayor would choose those who would be on the committee. The committee in their first meeting would set their own rules in terms of how many times they would meet. They would be tasked, my understanding is, really with 2 tasks. One, to determine whether or not a change should be made to the current Williamson County seal. And if so, the second task would be to come up with an idea that they would present to us at a later date with what they believe should replace the Confederate flag that is currently on our seal. I believe they have until sometime in September, but Jeff Mosley might know better on that. And my understanding is if they are able to complete the first task, but are unable to complete the second task, then no change will be made to the seal. That's probably all I can share at this time, unless you have any questions.
And if I could, this is Jeff, and I'll jump in. The specifics of it, the resolution was designed, as Commissioner Beathard mentioned, to get a wide variety of stakeholders to the table, specifically a business representative from Williamson, Inc., two families who have been in the county for at least 3 generations, one of whom would be an African-American family member, one representative from the Heritage Foundation, one representative of the African-American Heritage Society, one African-American business owner, one African-American religious or community leader, one representative of the Williamson County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the county historian. The thought behind this, in addition to addressing the history, was those areas that might be impacted by a change, good or bad, business, tourism, and the like, and then the African-American Heritage Society as well. Commissioner Beathard is correct. The task would be to receive citizen input and decide whether there was a material and substantial need for the seal to be altered. And then if so, to issue a report as to the specific historical or other compelling interests that support that. Those are the 2 elements that go into the request of the State Historical Commission, if it were to be found that you wanted to make a change. The task force is not tasked with making the change. It is only tasked with making a determination as to the need and whether or not the county commission should request it. The task force does not have the authority to make the request of the Historical Society. It has to come back to the county commission for approval. So you will, as commissioners, have a vote on whether or not the seal, a request for alteration of the seal would be made to the state.
Thank you, Mr. Mosley. One aspect that I questioned was, again, the seal is located and affixed upon many assets of the county, and so one of the things I'd also like to know. I don't know if it'd be a part of the charge from the commission. I doubt that would be, but I do believe our office is looking at the cost of any change. So, there's seals at the courthouse, letterhead, all that stuff. So any potential change would have an impact on changes to county property. So I'd like to know what that is as well. So that's something we can research as time goes on. So any comments, questions, or concerns from anyone on the property committee? Hearing none, I will, and if there's nothing else to add, I'll call a vote.
Hold on, if you don't mind, Chad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Commissioner Tunnicliffe, just asking a question. I was wondering why the resolution only states African American when we're trying to do a new seal that might represent the entire county, which is not just African American and white. I wondered if it could be replaced with person of color. I don't know how you say that, with being politically correct, but that's a concern I've had from some of my constituents I've spoken with about this resolution.
The idea behind the drafting was that the offense stated by some parts of the community were to the African American community. 4 of the 9 spots were designated as African American, but not a majority. You could have more, I guess, if the business or the tourism were also the case. But to be quite honest, it was felt that given the particular subject matter, the Civil War, that it was important to have a representation from the African American community when it was drafted. If the commission decided to change that particular number or representation, then it certainly could be amended to include or to broaden the definition to person of color or minority or however you wish to so define it. But we really were looking at the instant conflict of ideas, not trying to necessarily be diverse beyond those parties.
Thank you, Jeff. And that was one of the questions that I had, and especially in terms of the communications that I've received from folks around the county, with their approval or disapproval of the seal. One of the biggest issues was intent and history behind the seal, and that would be one of the things I really would hope is discussed and understood, because depending on who you talk to, the end result of what they think the seal means varies widely. And that's one thing that I really hope we do as we continue this conversation, is actually understand what reality was, what the truth behind it was, and what the intent behind the seal was, because that goes a long way with what we should or shouldn't do with it. So I just hope that the commission or this committee is brought up of folks who are going to be a subjective manner, definitely to the seal, and a representation of the county as well. Any other questions? Thank you, Commissioner Tunnicliffe, for that point. All right, so I'll call a vote if there's no other questions. Commissioner Hester?
Yes.
Commissioner Chalfant?
In regard to altering history, I have to vote no.
Commissioner Smith?
Smith, yes.
And Commissioner Story will vote yes. So resolution passes 3 yes, 1 no, and 3 absent. All right, so we have one other resolution for today. Resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute an interlocal agreement with the City of Franklin for the joint cost and sewer infrastructure for the new animal center. Entertain a motion.
Move for approval, Smith.
Second?
Second, Commissioner Chalfant, thank you. Do anyone that can speak to this resolution? So this was a late file, so it looks to be basically again, from what I'm reading, is just to share the cost of the sewer and infrastructure for Williamson County and the City of Franklin. So we do these pretty regularly. There's the location looks to be on located Old Charlotte Pike. So these are pretty straightforward. It's something that we're building, and it's something that we'll share the cost with the city. So any discussion from the property committee? All right. Hearing none, I will call this to a vote. Commissioner Hester?
Yes.
Commissioner Chalfant?
Chalfant, yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Smith, yes.
And Commissioner Story is a yes as well. So 4 yes, 0 no. That's all the business that we have for this body. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. God bless.